Hey, thank you for choosing me as your mascara makeup artist. In this video, I'm going to take you from the very first step that I do before I put on my makeup to the very last step. The only time I may stop is to apply the mascara, the real mascara to my eyelashes because, that's just a given. So I'm not going to have you sit there and watch me do that because, that's kind of simple. But the first thing I want you to do is get your perfector sponge and get it damp. To get it damp, just run it under water, wring it out, just squeeze it, trying to get all the water out and sink. And then I also like to take paper towels or a towel that you may have and just squeeze it, because when we use it, we want it damp. So I like to do it before I even apply my makeup so that it can sit there and it won't really dry, but it's going to be just the perfect amount of damp when I need it. Then I'm going to, you may have a primer that you like, that you've been using with your old makeup. You can try that with the mascara makeup, but I had found that the primer that I had used with my old makeup was a little too much like moisturizer for the mascara makeup, with the mascara makeup being cream. It just didn't give a good base for the makeup. So I have discovered that using a setting spray, or a stay spray as mascara calls it, works great for me to use as a primer for the makeup. I have found that just this Maybelline one works well. Some of you may have already had a setting spray that you use. I know a lot of people use the Urban Decay All Nighter, or if you have oily skin, the Urban Decay De-Slick works great if your skin is oily. These are just great primers for your face before the makeup. I like to use the mascara one because it has hyaluronic acid in it, which our bodies produce that normally, or naturally. It's what is used in fillers when people get injections in their lips or their face or something. So I like to use it. And this one has SPF 30 in it, so it's kind of acting like a, well, it is a sunscreen. It's not acting like it, it is it. The makeup does not have SPF in it, but it is made with titanium oxide, which will protect you from UV rays. So I'm just going to give myself a nice squirt, and this is the old spray bottle, and it comes out powerful. So, and I do that generously on my face. The hyaluronic acid will also help keep my skin hydrated. And I will use this on my face as sunscreen. Like in the summertime when I go to the beach, or if I'm working out in the yard, I use that on my face, and it keeps me just hydrated, I guess. Protects me from the sun and keeps me hydrated. So while I am letting that dry on my face, that is when I apply my eyeshadow. So I like to do the eyeshadow first because as I'm applying the eyeshadow, I have a lot of fallout. And I don't want that fallout in my newly applied makeup. So I am going to do my eyes first. And what I'm doing here is I'm taking my flat end of my detail HAC brush, and my brush, I did not clean it after I used it the last time, so it's a little wonky on the end, but it'll work because I can just wipe it off. But it's best to keep your brushes clean because it's going to give you the best makeup application, a nice clean brush. And it's also going to save you from using too much product. So keep your brushes clean. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my main highlight that I'm going to use all over, and I'm priming my lids with it. I'm just going to try it because I don't know about your eyelids, but my eyelids are very discolored. So I want to even out that color. So I just took the big end, and you saw me just stipple away on top of my eyelid. So now I'm going to go in, and I like to even use a light color. I'm going to use Sabrina all over my lid. Sabrina is a very, as you can see, light color. I'm just going to put it Sabrina or maybe Cupcake. Sabrina has a little glimmer to it, and Cupcake is more of a matte look. And either one works great just as a base. So now I'm going to apply my darker eyeshadow to the outer corners of my eyes. And notice I'm holding my brush back some. So this, I think, is the blend and tap brush. I'm getting that confused with bend and snap, but it is the blend and tap. And I'm going to use this end. See, one kind of end's kind of flat, and that's what I used as my base. And now I'm coming. Sorry, I had to cut off for a minute because I had my teenage boy yelling at me, as I'm sure you heard. So I'm going to hold it at the back end of the brush. I'm going to apply kind of in a circular motion to the outer corner of my eye. And I'm going to take it and just go above that crease line, kind of on the bottom of that brow bone. I'm just going to like windshield wiper it back and forth. And I use the back end of the brush because it's easier to get that motion going. It's just easier to use the brush when you're holding the back end. It's like touching your eye very lightly. I mean, maybe I'm not explaining that right, but you'll see when you do it. And if you don't have this brush, you can use one of the brushes that maybe you've previously owned. And I'm just going to windshield wiper it kind of back and forth above that crease. I have very deep set hooded eyes, so I don't want to go in that crease. So I'm going to try to open my eye up some. So I'm going to go above that crease, kind of on that, right underneath. I guess it's your eye socket. I'm calling it like your brow bone, but that would be your brow. Well, might be both. I don't know what the bones in your face are called. I had to know them at one time in school, but you know, it's one of those things that you don't use every day, so I just don't know the name of it. Okay, so then I'm going to take another brush. So this is the Eyeshadow Everything brush, and I'm going to use that smaller end. I'm going to go into a lighter color. I kept that darker color on the outside of my eye because it is said that our eyes are like a window. Think about your eyes like a window. And when you want to bring light into the room, you pull back your curtains. So just think of your eyes as the windows. You want to bring the light to your eye. Not really light, but you want to make your eyes, I guess, maybe shine or pop or something. You keep the lighter colors to the inside and your darker colors to the outside, so you pull your drapes back. So then I'm just going to, again, hold my brush at the back end. I'm just going to kind of swirl in that inner corner of my eye. I'm just going to go to where it kind of meets that darker color. Then I'm going to take another brush. This is not a mascara brush. This is just one of my little eyeshadow brushes that have kind of like little flat ends. Two little flat ends, one smaller than the other. I'm going to take that bigger side and I'm going to take a color. I love this color. This color is As You Wish. And I'm just going to tap it right on the apple of my eye, kind of where that dark color meets the light color. I'm going to put this color there. I'm going to tap it on. And then I'm going to blend it up all over with like a big end of the eyeshadow everything brush. But while I have this brush in my hand, I'm going to take that smaller flat end and I'm going to go to that dark color that I used on the outside. And I am going to use it as an eyeliner. I'm going to put the eyeshadow under my eye. So I'm connecting the color from the top of my eye to the bottom. Almost like an eyeliner. I find the older I get, the nicer my eyes look with lighter colors on my eyes. So I just use my eyeshadows as my eyeliners. So then, now that I have all that on, and do you know, I've lost one of my brushes. I've lost one of my brushes that I love the end of the brush because it was great. It had a little bitty end on it like that. I think maybe I dropped it at my mom's when I was doing my sister's makeup. My sister and my niece. But I'm gonna line my lid, and again, this is with a darker eyeshadow. Browns will work nicely here. Arno Mascara has a color Salem that people use as their eyeliner. It's like a charcoal color. But since my colors are kind of on the brown, reddish brown side and orangey side, I like to use this color called Gilded. I'm going to line the top of my lid, and I'm going to come underneath and do that lash line underneath here. And I know it looks like a hot mess right now. Can't really see my eyes, but notice my eyes as I continue to put the makeup on. My eyes will start to look different after a while. So now I'm going to go back. I'm going to take like the big end of the eyeshadow everything brush, and I'm just going to blend it all together. Then I'm going to take that flat end. I mean, this is crazy. It's in my hand. Scary. Okay, I'm going to take that bigger flat end. I'm just going to put a little bit more of that Sabrina kind of up on my brow bone. Okay. So, now at this time you could do your eyebrows, or you could do those last. I'll do mine now. I'm just going to go into some of my contour color and just add a little more color to my eyebrows. Funny story about this eyebrow. I was shaving my face one day with a little tinkle razor, and as I was coming down my forehead, I nicked my eyebrow. So, and when I'm normally putting on my makeup every day, not doing a video, I apply it much faster than what I'm doing in this video. So this video may take me 30 or 40 minutes to do, but please know that applying the makeup without doing a tutorial, I can do it a lot quicker. And you'll be able to do it a lot quicker too. And it just depends on you. You might be able to do a video in no time. just me, you know, I can't walk and talk at the same time. One of those scenarios. So now that my eyes are basically done, everything but the mascara, I'll put that on at the very end. I am going to just take a brush that I have, and I'm just going to brush off any eyeshadow fallout debris that I may have under my eyes on my cheeks. And now I'm going to get into the HAC. So I have, you really can't tell how bad my dark circles are because of the ring light that I'm using to do the video, but my dark circles are pretty bad. So I like to use a color correcting color, and you can see all the redness in my cheeks from like rosacea. I just use a color correcting color. You may or may not have had that recommendation from me. If you haven't, just hang tight. I'm going to talk to you in a minute. Just bear with me as I color correct color under my eye. I normally suggest mango for that, or if you're really fair, I suggest June to color correct the dark circles under your eyes and to just hit any redness or discolorations that your skin might have. Just kind of stipple it onto those areas. If you have acne, this is good to cover up acne. Just anything that may need color correcting. Melasma, acne, redness, dark circles, anything like that, color correct. If you do not have a color correcting, now we're going to, I'm talking to you, now we're going to go into our main highlight. I'm talking to everybody, now we're going into our main highlight. So I, again, am using the big end of my Detail HAC. Now, if you're starting out and you wanted to use the smaller end of the Detail HAC is made to kind of get up in the corners of your eyes to do like color correcting and to pinpoint any troubled spots you may have like acne. This smaller end is great to use, but I like to do everything almost with this end of this brush. So now I'm going to tap into my main highlight, and I'm just going to start applying it in a stippling motion all over my face where I will not be applying contour. So you're going to notice that right under here, right there, I'm not putting any highlight. I'm going to leave that just for the contour. But I'm just going to stipple this, bottom of my face, above my lip, across my nose, and I'm going right on top of that color correcting makeup that I put on. Now I'm not going to put a full coverage right there. I'm just going to stipple it real lightly because I am going to come in a little while and put some brightening highlight there. So I don't need to necessarily make that the same color as this because I want that area to pop. So I just lightly put my main highlight there. If you do not have a color correcting color under your eyes, go on and put the main color there. But if you do have your color correcting there, you can just kind of stipple here and there. You don't have to be so full coverage there because you're going to come back with a brightening highlight, because I normally recommend a brightening highlight to everybody because you want to brighten up that center triangle. It's like the triangle light in the center of your face. So, okay, so now I have my main highlight all over. Again, not in those areas, not on this part of my forehead, and I did not get right here under my chin. I did not blend it there because now I'm going to come in with my contour in those areas. So I'm going to use the same brush. I'm just going to wipe it off on that paper towel that I used to squeeze my sponge in, my Perfector sponge. Just going to kind of get that makeup off. Okay, and now I'm going to use like this end of the brush, and I'm going to tap it into my, just lightly tap it into my contour. So it's just on like that You can see it on that edge, and you can see how I need to clean this brush. And I'm just gonna stipple it under my cheekbone. I've done this enough times. I know where my cheekbone is. You may have to feel. And it comes from right back here. Now notice I'm not coming from up here. I'm not coming from right here in the middle. It's kind of the upper part of my ear. And I'm going to follow my cheekbone. I'm kind of smashing, kind of tucking it under my cheekbone. And just coming around the front to right around the corners of my eyes. You're going to feel your cheekbone when you do it. And you know what? You're going to question yourself at first. You may even get a little high and come down. But what you want to do is just follow that cheekbone, the natural position of your cheekbone. And just tuck that contour right up underneath it. And it does kind of swoosh a little when I get to the front. Not really like a Nike swoosh, but a little like a Nike swoosh. And the great thing about cream makeup is if I came too far in, like that, I can just back it up. So, it's cream. It's blendable, blendable and bendable. Okay. So now I'm going to do my forehead. And when we contour our face, think about the contour areas like in a figure 3. So you're going to come at the very top of our forehead. I'd say about the top 1/3 of my forehead at my hairline with contour. I'm going to come down my sides a little. And look, you're going to make like a 3 with contour. Start at the forehead. Come in at the cheek, and then you're going to come down underneath your jawline. Makes like the figure 3, or the number 3. I'm thinking of figure 8, but it's number 3. So you can see your jawline there. And you want to put your contour underneath your jawline. And you want to drag it down your neck. You kind of want to blend it in down your neck. You want to create that shadow, or at least I really want to create that shadow to try to hide all that sagginess, double chin issues that I have. So I'm just going to take it on the bottom of my jawline, and I'm going to drag it down my neck. I'm not going to get the center of my neck. I'm going to kind of leave that bright. Okay, now the contouring of the nose. You may or may not want to contour your nose. I have found most people are okay without contouring their nose, but if you want to contour your nose, what you want to do is you want to create 2 parallel lines on the top of your nose right here, okay? And it's going to give your nose the illusion of being skinnier. I've seen people use this end of the brush. I've seen people use this end, this side of the brush. I have seen people use the eyeshadow brush. I have seen people put like a marker or some sort, maybe like their tinkle razor, to use as a guide, and they made 2 lines down the side of this. You may want to start out with that and do that. As a matter of fact, that is how I'll show you how to do it really quick. Well, not really quick, but is what I'm looking for. I'm going to use the Eyeshadow Everything brush. If you don't have that brush, then maybe use the small end. You know what? I'll use the small end because most people have this brush and they don't have the eyeshadow everything brush. So you probably have a tinkle razor. You have something that's nice and skinny around. Another brush. I don't know, maybe even a Q-tip use. So what you want to do is you want to get some contour and you're coming from the top. Don't go on the side because you don't really want to get it on the side of your nose. You want to go on the top of your nose. And you're giving the illusion of like a new side to your nose. Now, don't lift your guide. Keep your guide there. Okay? And again, I'm coming in from the top. I'm just going to brush it back and forth. There. You see that line down the center of my nose? I'm going to take it and I'm going to brush it up into my eyebrows. I have a hump in my nose. You see that little hump? So sometimes using a brush like this, or even as a little guide, this is not laying flat on my nose because I have a hump in my nose and then the tip of my nose kind of goes up a little. So it's kind of tricky to contour my nose, but you get the gist of it. So now that I have my nose contoured, my forehead, my cheeks, my jawline, I am going to apply my blush. So if you just have this brush, clean your brush off real well. You know what? I'm just going to do everything with this brush. Clean that in, and I'm going to tap it into my lip and cheek, and then I'm going to apply it to the apples of my cheek. And I'm going to tap it right back to my hairline, right above my contour. Just like so. Okay. And I'm kind of turning my brush too. Ooh, I always like to pin my hair back because it's the worst feeling to have some hair stuck into your makeup. So as you see, I'm kind of twisting it because I kind of want it a little circular, like to the apples of my cheeks. So I'm just going to kind of circle it there, but then I'm just going to drag it back using like this, back toward my hairline. Okay. Now I have my lip and cheek on. Okay. Now I'm going to put my brightening highlight. And I'm going to use this small end. I'm going to wipe off. Remember, I just contoured my nose with it. So I'm just going to take that damp paper towel, because remember I have that paper towel near because I squeezed out my sponge. And I'm just going to wipe that contour off the pointy end of my detail hack. Now, I normally would be using the Buffy brush, but I thought let me show you how I use one brush. You can use one brush. I use that bigger end to do my lip and cheek, and then I would come in with the smaller end and do the triangle of light on my face. But I'm going to use the small end of this one to show you how you can do your entire makeup with just one brush. I'm going to put some on my finger. And you see that line in between my contour? I'm going to tap the brightening highlight down the center, just like so. remember what I said about my nose. It's not a big nose. Well, it gets bigger as I get older, but it's just, it's like a roller coaster nose. Oh, and when you have their contour and you come down the sides, you also want to come in a little V at the very tip. So I just put some on my finger because I already cleaned my brush off. And remember, I'm going to blend all this in a little while with my sponge. Okay. So now I have the brightening down the center of my nose. I'm going to put some on the tip of my brush. And I'm going to do a little pie shape under my eye with the brightening highlight. Notice I'm not going directly under my eye. That is where all those little bitty fine wrinkles are. And I kind of want to stay free of anything too light in my wrinkles, because the lighter you go in a wrinkle, the more it accents your wrinkle or accentuates it. I'm not saying that word right. Accentuates? Maybe that's it. I'm bad with words. If you've been my friend or listened to me long enough, you know it doesn't take a whole lot for me to butcher up a word. Okay. See how it's kind of like a pie shape? Kind of right here, right down here, kind of right there, and back that way. See how it's kind of just brightened up my face some. Brighten up the center. And I'm going to put a little bit on my cupid's bow and a little bit on my chin. And then I'm going to, I did this with my finger. I kind of fanned it up over my brows. Again, I'm giving it a triangle of light to my face, kind of adding dimension. Now, it's the blending time. Take your damp sponge and just start lightly pouncing it all over your face, and it is going to blend your makeup. Now, I will put it on the side and kind of roll it on my forehead to kind of blend my highlight into my contour and into my hairline. But I normally take like the butt end of the sponge and just pounce my face with it. And take the pointy part. Pointy part is great. Getting in the corners and up close underneath your eyes. Put it on the side, kind of do the side of your nose. You don't want to take too much off of your nose where you added your contour and your brightening highlight. Okay. Got my face blended. But now I'm going to take some setting spray. This is the new packaging of the Stay Spray. This one is without the SPF because I find that the SPF one leaves your skin a little tackier. So that's why I also like to use it before as a primer. But afterwards, I don't want my face so tacky. I mean, I'm going to put powder on to give it more like a silk matte finish, and just to keep, it's cream makeup, and you know, it's going to be a little tackier. And my hair, because it falls in my face so much, I don't want it sticking in my makeup. So that's why I also like to finish with the powder, because of the cream makeup, the tackiness of the cream makeup, the setting spray. And also, I live in the South. It's very, very hot here. So I take all precaution to try to keep my makeup lasting as long as it can. So I like to finish with the setting spray and a powder. So I'm going to lightly do my face with the setting spray now. Oh, I say lightly, but it comes out pretty powerful. If you don't have the mascara setting spray, Maybelline, I think works great. Maybelline, Urban Decay, NYX, any setting spray that you have will probably work beautifully. So now I'm going to apply my mascara. So I'm going to turn the video off. I'm going to apply my mascara and I'm going to come back and lightly powder my face. And yes, I'm going to do the powder last, even on top of my mascara, because the powder that I use is so fine, it's not going to fall and get clumpy in my mascara. That's how great that powder is. I'm going to tell you about that powder when I come back too. Okay, I'm back. Put on my mascara. I want to share this mascara with you too. This is, I don't know how people do that. I don't know if that makes a difference, but this is L'Oreal Double Extend Beauty Tubes Mascara. So this white end you put on first, and it makes like these long white tubes on your lashes. And as you can see, I can get my lashes pretty long with it. And then you don't even have to let it dry, or I've seen some videos where the girls or ladies let it dry and then they put the mascara on, but they say you don't have to, and I did not let mine dry. I just put the white on, and then I came back and put the dark on. But I love it because it really doesn't flake into my eyes, because you know I wear contacts. So I don't know if I blended my neck. I'm going to blend a little on my neck. But when you drag your brush down, you're kind of blending on your neck, so it's not that bad. I just love that mascara. But now for the powder. My Stay Spray is pretty dry, and again, it's kind of tacky. So I don't want that tacky feel, although it would give me that dewy look all day that everybody's going for. But I'm 50, and yes, I want to look hydrated, but I don't want to look too dewy. I prefer a matte finished on my face. And because I have the hyaluronic acid and I use a really great skincare for my face never really looks dry, even with the powder. But this powder is by It Cosmetics. It is called Bye Bye Pores, and it is for aging skin. It is made of silk and contains hydrolyzed collagen. So it almost fills your little fine lines so they don't appear as deep. So I think it's great. It's very, very fine, and it's translucent, so it's not going to change the color. Look, it kind of, when I open it, it kind of comes up like smoke. It's so fine. I am going to take the big end of my B-squared brush. I highly recommend the mascara brushes because they were designed specifically for the cream makeup. But if you only got one or two brushes and this Buffy brush was not it, because you're applying powder right now, I'm pretty confident that any big dome-ended brush will work fine for you. I'm just going to tap lightly into the powder. I even have some powder in my lid. Can you see it kind of smoking it so fine? So I'm going to get some on my brush. See, I'm going to start at the back end of my hairline, and I'm just going to kind of tap forward over my makeup. I need to get a little more. There we go. Tap, tap, tap. You kind of buff your face, but sometimes I think if I buff my face, I kind of buff my makeup off, and I don't want to do that. But if I do that, I'm going to show you. buffing my forehead's fine. I don't like to really buff right there because sometimes I feel like I'm buffing my makeup off. Just tap it all over. But at the end, if I did kind of buff off too much, I'm just gonna go get my brush, tap back into my lip and cheek, and just lightly apply it back. You can go, the powder is so fine, you can almost come back. Now, I wouldn't suggest doing my entire face on top of the powder. Oh, I think I have a piece of hair hanging down. Can you see it? Can you see that piece of hair? There, got it out. But I will come back and put a little more lip and cheek if I feel like I kind of buffed it off. Okay, now, lips. I'm almost forgetting lips. You can contour your lips if you don't have like a lip liner. I have been using a lip liner that I love. It's Rimmel. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Rimmel. And it is called Rose Quartz. I'm just going to outline my lips with it. Contour works great as a lip liner too. Especially if you want to give your lips a fuller look. I suggest contouring like underneath it. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to do lips in your cell phone. So I'm gonna open up my compact here. There we go. I do not need to give these lips a full look. They are pretty full on their own. Now, of course, you can use the lip and cheek. I'm using the same lip and cheek I used, or the same color I used, same lip and cheek. And you could be good. However, this will not give me coverage like I like all day. It'll last a little while, but I like to have my lipstick stay on all day. I'm just going to kind of pat it. So I like to use this Maybelline Superstay 24 color, or this one kind of is glossy, and this one is like a stick. They're both by Maybelline. Let me show you this one. I mean, the mascara is great just because, you know, it fits in that one compact, and you could have your entire face besides your mascara in one little compact, but there you have it, folks. Again, thanks for choosing me as your makeup artist. I'm here to answer any questions, help you with anything you have. If you have any questions, if you want to do a highlight and contour together over FaceTime, just let me know. I'm here to help you any way I can. Thanks. Looking a little messy there. It's this camera. Using it as a mirror is very challenging, but go use your mirror. And another thing, don't use a magnifying mirror. Use just the normal mirror to apply your makeup, because when we look at you, we're not looking at you 3 times or 10 times magnifying. So my advice is just go apply your makeup using a normal, of course use light. Light on a mirror always helps, but just go apply your makeup normally. In a normal mirror, no magnifying. Now I'm going to do something with this hair so I can go run a few errands. Bye, y'all.